Hi there guys and welcome to UFC 264. As you can see, we've got a little camera upgrade here. Hopefully it is a little cleaner for you. Let's crack on with the card. We are only going to do the main card like we normally do. If you do want the full card, the tips, the analysis, the breakdowns of each individual fight, plan is to be awake and stream during the event. If you would like to tune in, you can find me at this service /Dan3HitU or Twitch /Dan3HitU. All the socials are the same, it's /Dan3HitU. So let's start with Sugar Sean O'Malley. I got some notes here that I have taken, so just bear with me for a second. I'm going to get to those. Obviously he's the -185 favourite, with him having an opponent that's very short notice. One thing that I did not like from his last fight was that he was trying to show off. Like, it annoyed me so much when he just, I will show you what he was doing, what annoyed me. So say the camera is here, or the opponent is here, he kept acting like he was a 4 or 5 year old child, where he would look to the other side and then just throw a punch. Like he was trying to seem cool and edgy, when in reality he just looked like a dick. But we're going to go with the Sugar Sean. Sure, he's probably going to come away with a win. I don't think he will get the TKO win that he wants, so my pick for this is actually a points victory. Next up, we've got Irene Aldana versus Yannick Nitsukaya, and I think this will be a stand-up fight. I don't think it'll go to the mat, but if for whatever reason it does, I feel like that is where Aldana has the edge. She has the pedigree there. She's got a half-decent ground game, which I believe is where Yana will struggle. So I'm going to go with a submission/points victory for Irene Aldana, because if for some reason she's not winning the stand-up, she can and does have the ability to take it to the mat. So that's where I'm going with the sub and the points. So we're 3 fights in now. We've got Tai Tuivasa versus Greg Hardy, wife beater. Reach and speed, if I'm honest, is in Greg Hardy's favour. Power, in my opinion, isn't. I do think Tuivasa has a bigger hit. But if Hardy has learned MMA to the level which he should have to be in the UFC to begin with, I feel like this should be a comfortable win for Greg Hardy. However, from what I've seen from Hardy, he doesn't look to be at the next tier of athlete, should I say, in terms of mixed martial arts. So I think the fight will probably go to the distance, and I do believe Greg Hardy will be the one that is landing the most punches. However, I do think Tuivasa will be the one that will deal the most damage. And as the scoring goes, as you are aware, it's damage at the top and then everything underneath. So it shouldn't really matter as long as Tuivasa is doing the damage. The judges should score it in his favour, whether he's looking like he's dominating or not. So I'm going to go with a points victory for Tai Tuivasa, because I don't. But this one should end in a KO or a TKO, but I just don't think it will. I think it'll stretch to the 15, and Tuivasa will come away with a judge's decision. Here we go. This is the fight that I'm most excited for on the card, if I'm honest with you. Mainly because we know what happens to the winner and the loser of Conor and Dustin. So this, for me, is the more intriguing fight for what could happen in the future. We've got Burns, we've got Wonderboy. This is Stephen Wonderboy Thompson's time to shine. It really is. It's now or never, if I'm honest. Well, not never. It's now or almost. Won't happen again, because he's getting older. Been doing it, I think, for like 15-20 years this. And I just, with his in and his out, he's in and out. His karate style, it's very unique. It's if he keeps the distance and manages it well from Gilbert and he doesn't dart in and then get caught, he has a great chance of winning this fight. Especially with it only being for 3 rounds, I think this does definitely benefit Wonderboy with the pace that he can have this fight at. But all it takes, in my opinion, is Gilbert Burns to take him down. And now I know Wonderboy doesn't lose by submission very often, but Gilbert Burns has possibly got the best jiu-jitsu in the entire UFC. So I can see Wonderboy coming in, lunging in, and then I can see Gilbert Burns countering a punch. Gilbert has got some big power in his hands. I mean, he rocked Usman, as we know, but I think if anything, he might look to grab a foot, initiate a takedown, and that is when Gilbert Burns will come into play. If I'm honest, I've got my notes here saying Wonderboy is going to win. Probably by a points decision, because I don't think this one will end either. But as I'm looking at the stats, looking at the other monitor over here, and then I'm reading my notes, I have a funny feeling Gilbert Burns is going to take him down. I don't know how, possibly by grabbing a leg, a foot, maybe an ankle pick, maybe even grab a hand when it comes in. I'm going with Gilbert Burns, the underdog, plus 125 with a submission/points victory. Alright, main event time. As we said before, we know what happens, in my opinion. If Dustin wins, he goes to fight Charles Oliveira for the belt, which is rightfully so. Conor loses, he goes to fight probably Nate Diaz, let's be honest with you. Or maybe someone else. I don't think it really matters. Conor winning sort of throws a spanner in the works because rightfully Dustin should be the champ, in my opinion. Uncrowned champion, should I say. He will obviously then fight Charles Oliveira, which I don't think he'll win. I think Oliveira will just make him look like an amateur. He will take him down. He won't stand and bang. He's not an idiot. He's a very smart fighter. So let's get on to the fight in hand. I don't think Conor has taken enough time off from his last fight to adapt and catch up with the current MMA. The level has increased so much since Conor was in his, I don't want to say his prime, because he's still in his prime based on his age, but based on his prime of his performances. And let's be honest, right? We love Conor. Conor's changed the sport. He's going to continue to change the sport. But let's lay down some facts, some figures, and let's be honest here. Now, do correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, please. Conor has won 1 fight at 155. And I believe that was against the aging Eddie Alvarez, who has since gone into ONE FC. And I believe he's lost every fight. He was winning, he was losing, he ended up losing, based on poor judging or whatever. And the weight class he was the most dominant in was 145, where he had the size, he had the power above the other fighters. And that is what Dustin has over Conor. I keep hearing and I see journalists, other MMA media outlets talking about Conor's power. There is no proof that this has carried over to 155. He has only won 1 fight. And as I said, that was against Eddie Alvarez. And that was volume. That wasn't power. That was precise counter-attacking volume. We do not know if his power translates to 155 yet. We just don't have proof of it. Does he probably have 1 punch KO power? Yes. Do we have proof of it? No. Does Dustin have that? Not so much. He's not really like a Gaethje thrower, let's say. I would say Gaethje is probably the hardest hitting 155 out there. But what Conor at 155, in my opinion, with him only having that 1 win, if you was to remove all of Conor's history, you did not know who this guy was. And he's got 1 loss at 155 where he thinks he's the best in that weight division. He's just a regular fighter. Now, if you include everything in his past, he's not a regular fighter. Granted, Hall of Famer, everything else. You know, the whole shebang. But the only way that I can see Conor winning this fight is with one big shot, like a counter shot, or if Dustin makes a mistake. Dustin's mindset is completely different to that young 145er, as we've already seen in that second fight. Granted, he stood and he banged with him for so long, which in my opinion was a bad move, but he came out on top anyway. I do not think he will do the same mistake again. He won't give Conor that opportunity. I believe he's going to stand and bang for maybe the first round, maybe the first 40 seconds or so, a couple of minutes at most, and then initiate takedowns. Look for the takedown, utilize the clinch, because Conor's terrible in the clinch, as we all know. And unless Conor can keep distance, I think he's screwed, because Dustin has so many more ways to win. I just don't see how the Diamond loses. I really don't. I think this will be over within 3 rounds. So that would probably be the betting tip I would go for, is the under. Technically it's the over, isn't it? 'Cause it's 2.5. I can see it going just over 2.5, maybe less than 3. But for the pick, I'm going with a submission or TKO win. It's better than evens. I think it's plus 120. There's no way this is going 5 rounds. I would be very surprised if this goes 5 rounds. I don't think there's anything else that I can add to this, other than I'm going to try and stay awake. The main event comes on about 5:30 in the morning for us over here in the UK. Join us on Twitch, join us here, join us everywhere else on the socials. Flash dance we hit you. Bet safely if you do have a bet. Enjoy yourself, and good luck to England tomorrow night in the Euros. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you at the UFC 265 video picks.